No one sees a bad person and thinks, I need that in my life. It just happens sometimes, like it did to me. I met Matt my first year of high school. He seemed perfect. He was cute, had a lot of friends, came from a good family, and everybody seemed to like him. I know I did. We flirted for a little while, and then when he finally asked me out, I felt like I'd won the lottery. The funny thing about winning the lottery, while the money is good, it can also ruin people's lives. They say that hindsight is 20/20, and for me it certainly is. But at the time of that first date, I know I was not thinking clearly. For starters, he was late meeting me at the restaurant. Instead of having some excuse about being nervous or hitting traffic or anything else, he blamed me for giving him bad directions. He didn't do it in an overly aggressive way. It almost sounded like he was joking. But he brought it up a couple of times in the evening, so I knew it was something that he actually believed. I mean, come on, he could have just used his phone's GPS. Anyways, we dated for a few months and everything was really good. It wasn't until our birthdays came around and I started to realize that something was wrong. My birthday was first, and while I wasn't expecting a huge gift or anything special, at least a card would have been nice. When my birthday came, I was flooded with messages on Facebook and via text, but it wasn't until I got to school that I heard from him. He told me that his family doesn't make a big deal out of birthdays, and so that's why he didn't say anything. I tried to play it off, but I was a little hurt. He got upset, and he yelled at me. Fine, I'll take you out after school if that'll make you happy. He did take me out after school, to the gas station where he got me a candy bar. Again, I wasn't expecting much, but really? His no big deal policy of birthdays changed when his birthday came around. I got him a gift and sent him a text right at midnight, and I made sure to be the first one to post on his Facebook wall. I didn't have a lot of money, but I still managed to save for this new wallet that he really wanted. I was excited to give it to him. He ripped open the gift without saying thank you, and when he saw it, he almost looked mad. Is this a knockoff or something? He asked. I guess the one that he really wanted had a logo on the side or something. I don't know. One of his friends said it was still really cool, so he chucked it to him and said, "You can have it then." Then for the rest of the day, he quote unquote joked about me getting him something else because I failed on the first gift. Things only got worse from there. He seemed to live in two separate worlds with two different sets of rules, one for him and one for everybody else. He was never expected to be gracious or kind, but everybody had to be to him. He would talk about his parents spoiled him and gave him everything he ever wanted, but it was never enough. When we would fight, he would never apologize. He would pout and make it out like I was the mean one. I didn't know what gaslighting was at the time, but he was the king of it. After a while, I would just give in and end up apologizing, even though I didn't do anything wrong. The breaking point finally came when he used my laptop to check his Facebook account. When he'd left, he'd forgotten to log out. I went on to Facebook thinking that it was my page, only to find messages from a number of girls that he was taking out on dates on the side. I was heartbroken, but when I confronted him, he, of course, didn't see anything he was doing as wrong, but instead I violated his privacy and hacked his Facebook. When I explained to him that it was my laptop and he left himself logged in, I was the one who was sick in the head and didn't trust him. When I finally broke it off with him, he ran and told everybody that he ended it with me because I became a stalker. I now have a better boyfriend that treats me amazing. And while I still see my ex at school, I notice a lot less people hang around him. I guess you can only be a jerk for so long. When did you realize that someone close to you is toxic? What would you have done in my situation? Hey everybody, my name is Mary, and I want to share a story with you that I can laugh about now, but at the time, it was really scary. I've always been called a tomboy, which I didn't know would actually work out in my favor. I've been called a tomboy because I love to work out, and I think that gross things are kind of funny. My friend Beth also says it's because I don't wear makeup and I look like a teenage boy. You know, with friends like that, am I right? So anyways, the gym that I go to is one of those 24-hour ones, and it isn't far from my house. It's just across from this big park. If I run there, I can make it in 5 minutes, but walking is about 15 or 20. I don't live in the ghetto or anything, but there are creeps that hang out in the park at night. It's best to be home before it gets too late. One night I was working out with my personal trainer, Henry. You should probably know that I have a crush on Henry because he's gorgeous. And when I'm around him, we get our flirt on and I lose all track of time. During the session, we were doing lunges and squats, really working on my legs. I didn't want to look weak in front of him, and even though my legs were screaming for me to stop, I kept going. Before I knew it, it was late and really dark out. He said he would walk me home, but he needed to do a bunch of work before he could leave the gym, and I didn't want to wait. So I just smiled and said, "It's all good, I'm not scared." Yeah, that was a lie. But honestly, I was just super nervous and didn't really know if I was going to be able to make conversation the whole way home. So yeah, I wasn't going to let that happen yet. I thought I could just run home and I would be okay. But my legs were still so mad at me from the workout. There was no way I was running anywhere. The park was super dark. I could go the long way around, which had better lighting, but it would take me almost twice as long. I didn't know how long my legs were going to be able to hold up. I started across the park and everything was fine until I noticed a guy get off the bench after I walked past. I don't want to think that all guys are creeps, so I figured I was making something out of nothing. But a girl's got to be cautious. I sped up a little bit and my legs were screaming. But I noticed that he sped up too. Okay, it's nothing. It's nothing, right? I wish I had a weapon on me, but all I had was a water bottle and a gym towel. I didn't think I was going to scare him off with a stinky towel. I had to think fast. I tried to run a bit, but my legs were so sore. I must have looked like a newborn baby giraffe trying to stand. Then it hit me. I could use this. I started to sing badly and swing from side to side like I was drunk. I know what you're thinking. You're making yourself even more vulnerable. But there was a method to my madness. Suddenly, I stopped, and with the deepest, loudest voice I could muster out, I yelled, "Uh-oh, it's pee-pee time!" Using the towel for blockage, I positioned the water bottle and made it look like I was peeing, like a boy. When the guy got closer, I yelled, "Glad they haven't cut it off yet. It's so handy, am I right, bro?" The guy must have really been turned off because he thought I was transgender. He ran off faster than I could if my legs were hurting. After that, I hurried home. I was scared out of my mind. But as soon as I got inside, I started laughing so hard. Who would have thought that my semi-boyish looks and my crude sense of humor would actually have saved me from something really bad? Needless to say, I kept a lot closer eye on the clock when I was at the gym after that. And I always carry a full water bottle. What would you do if you were in this situation? Have you experienced something like that yourself? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.